Alright friends, welcome back to another video on building multi-purpose Laravel and Vue3 application, and in this video we'll be working on adding interactive dashboard stats with filters. So let me show you what I mean. Over here on the dashboard page we have these two stats, and by default it is showing total appointments counts. Over here it is showing 9 appointments, and over here we can click on this select option and we can filter this based on different appointment status. And here it is saying that we have 5 scheduled appointments, right? Similarly for the users, we can filter those users, and we have 0 registered user for today, and for the last 30 days we have 3 registered users, and for 360 days we have 27 registered users. So throughout this video we'll be working on adding appointment stats with these filters, and in the next video we'll be working on user part. Okay, so now let's get started. So first of all we need to have the design ready. So I have kept that inside of resources, views, stubs, and dashboard stats.blade file. Okay, so let me copy it and let me go to dashboard.vue file, which is a view component, and over here let me paste that in. So now if I save this and refresh this page, we see this beautiful design. Okay, now let's make this workable. First of all, let's start by a simple thing. If I click on view appointments, then let's take this to appointments page. Okay, so let me search for view appointments. Instead of anchor tag, we need to use router link component, and we want to link to, we need to pass the 2 props, and the page is admin/appointments, right? And now if I click on this one, then we are on appointment page, right? Let's do the same for view users as well. So let me go over here and let's change this anchor tag to router link, and instead of as ref we need to pass 2 props with the value of admin/users. Now if I click over here, we are in user space. Perfect. Now let me go to dashboard, and for the appointment status we have 3 different status, and by default it is all, scheduled, confirmed, and cancelled. And let's change this accordingly. Let me go over here, all, scheduled, and confirmed, and the final one is cancelled. Let's change this value to confirmed, cancelled, and let's add this value to all. Now over here we need to listen for the change event on this select option. So if we select schedule, then we need to listen for that event and perform the access request and do some query and return the result, right? So let's do that part. We need to listen for that change event. Let's say on change we'll be calling the method called get appointments count, and we haven't defined this. So let me add a script setup section over here, script setup, and let's define that method. And for now let's say alert here. If I change this, we see this alert, right? And over here let's define 2 more state, one for the selected appointment status, the status that we have selected over here, and another one for total appointments count. So let's define those 2 state, selected appointment status, and by default let's set this to all, and let's define another state, total appointments count, and by default let's set this to 0, and we need to import ref from view. Okay, now we can use those. So for total appointments count over here, let's use that, and over here we can use v model, and the value will be selected appointment status. Now let me go over here, and instead of alert let me do selected appointment status dot value. If I change this to schedule, then we see this is scheduled, right? If I change to confirmed, and we are getting that value. Perfect. Now we need to perform the access request over here instead of alert. So let's do access, perform the get request to the endpoint API stats/appointments, and let's pass the parameter, and for the parameter we'll be passing the status, and the value will be selected appointment status dot value. Okay, and after we get the response back, we will set the total appointments count dot value to response dot data dot total appointments count. Okay, and we haven't defined this endpoint, so let's define those endpoints. Let me go to web.php file, and over here let's do route get API /stats/appointments, and we haven't defined the controller yet, so let's create the controller first. So let me open up the terminal, and let's do php artisan make me a controller inside of admin, and let's give it a name called dashboard stats controller. Let's make this singular, dashboard stat controller. And now that controller is created, so we can use that dashboard stat controller class and call the method called appointments. Okay, now we can go to that controller and let's define the method called appointments. And over here let me do die and dump the request all to test it. So let me open up the console, let me go to network tab, and let me change the status to confirmed, and we are getting 500 error. And if I see the response and preview, and if I see the preview, we are getting the status as confirmed, right? Now inside of our controller we can perform the query based on that status. So let me define the variable called total appointments count equals appointment query, and we can perform the query based on the conditional. So when we have the request status is scheduled, then we can run this closure. We need to pass the query, and inside this we can do query where the status is, and we can use the enum for that status, appointment status and schedule, right? And at the end we can perform the count operation. And if we are not passing the status as scheduled, then by default it will just count the every appointment, right? Over here we can do return response JSON, and we'll be passing total appointments count with the value of total appointments count. Now we can test it. If I click on scheduled, so this is not working, so let's fix that. Let me go to dashboard.vue file, and over here we misspelled that, so let me change this, and here we missed T. Let me save those changes. Let me click on schedule. Now we are getting 5 scheduled appointments, which is perfect. Let's do the same for other appointment status as well. So let me copy this, confirmed and then cancelled, confirmed, appointment status confirmed, and finally for cancelled, appointment status cancelled, right? Now let me go to appointments tab, and we have all is 9 appointments, schedule 5, and 2 to confirm and cancel appointments. Let's see this. If I click on schedule, we have 5, for confirmed we have 2, and for cancelled we have 2. But if you have noticed, if I refresh this page, and it is not showing the default value for all, right? So to fix that, let me go to dashboard.vue file, and on mounted, let's call that method call get appointments count. After the page is loaded for the first time, we are calling that method and we are passing these status parameters, and by default it is all, right? And if I refresh it, now we are getting 9 appointments for all. So this much for this video. I hope this video was helpful for you, and for the assignment you can try this for user stats as well. You can get the user counts based on these filters for 30 days, 60 days and so on, right? And in the next video I will show you how we can do this, but you can try from my end as well. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel, as I will be uploading the videos like this. So till then, have a great time and I will see you on the next one.